Hello class, this is a continuation on calculus optimization. Let's now dive straight into our first example here. So let's read this. A box with no top or no lid is to be made by cutting squares of side length x centimeters from the corners of a flat 60 centimeter cardboard sheet. Part 1, and here's that show that part. It's show that the volume of the box is this formula. So I hope you can see that there's that show that. And part 2 is calculate the maximum volume of the box. So I'm going to go through this with part 1 and part 2, but you'll see that when I begin part 2, you can see what I mean, that you could ignore this entirely and just move straight into here. That's assuming that when you look at this, you have no idea what to do. So let's go through the steps here. Step 1, let's draw a diagram of what is happening. So it says a flat 60 centimeter cardboard sheet. Okay, let's draw a 60 by 60, obviously not to scale. So let's say that this is a 60 centimeter sheet. And now it's saying that we are going to cut squares of x centimeter from the corners of this sheet. Okay, so let's make some squares in the corners here. Let's make this of, we don't know how large this is, so let's just do it like this. Let's do that in purple. And that is side length x. So that is x. Okay, and it says that we're going to do this in the corners. So all 4 corners of this. So let's do this. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now it's hard to imagine, but I hope we can work here on this. Let's color code everything. Let's make this a blue bit now, because this flat sheet, after we've cut out these corners, is actually now going to become a box. Because, let me get the arrow going, because if you can imagine now, these are going to be flaps, so this no longer exists. Oops, sorry, these no longer exist. They're going to cut them out, leaving us with these flaps like this. We're going to fold along the blue dotted lines to become a box like so. So it's going to become a box like this. Let's try and make it as square base as I can. Like so. Now let's cut these out just so that it's not confusing you. Now that is in the rear. There we go. And the bottom is actually the one that's going to be blue. So let's, let's change that back. This bottom side. Really trying to color code it here so that you can follow along. This side on the bottom was what was at the base here. And this side that we cut out is actually the height of x. So that is height x. So now we're trying to find the volume of this box. So I'll slow it down and see if you've followed along. 60 centimeter square. We cut out 4 corners and we flipped these flaps up to become this box. And now the question becomes, what is the volume of this box? Well, to find the volume of this, we need area of this base times the height of x. So the question then becomes, what is the area of this base? Well, that blue portion is this portion here. So it's going to be this, well, this side times this side. It's still a square of this blue portion here. So the question becomes, what is this length here? Well, since this is 60, this must be 60 as well. And we've cut off a side length of x on each side. So it's 60 minus x minus x. So this blue portion is actually 60 minus 2x, sorry. And now to find the area of this base is going to be 60 minus x times 60 minus x. And then to find the volume of this, we multiply by x. So let's write this out. So we get the volume of this is going to be the area of the base times the height, but the area of the base we've concluded was 60 minus 2x times 60 minus 2x, which is 60 minus 2x squared, multiplied by the height h, which we've now seen that the height of this is x. So this is now the volume of this box. But now our next problem is, it says we need to show that this is the volume of the box. I hope you can see, really, all we need to do now is just expand this, and we are sure to get this formula. So let's do exactly that. I'm going to move the x to the front, x times, and I'm going to expand this one first. To expand this, we square the first, so 60 times 60, 3,600. We square the last, so this squared is plus 4x squared. And we take the product of this and we double it. Square the first, square the last, double the product. The product of this is negative 120x times 2 is negative 240x. And as we can see, we just simply expand this and rearranging it. X times 4x squared, we get 4x cubed. It wants 240x squared, so we take x times this, we get negative 240x squared plus 3,600x. And there we have it. We have shown that this is the volume of the box. And as I've stated in my introduction, this is already rather tricky if you couldn't imagine this turning into this, as well as all the other algebra required. Now, as I stated before, even if you can't do part 1, you can still skip this part entirely and go straight into part 2, because it just says, show that the volume of the box is this. Even though we couldn't show this, we can still calculate the maximum volume of this box, because it's saying maximize the volume of this box. Well, since we're trying to maximize this, we're looking for stationary points and finding the maximum stationary point. So to do that, we're just going to grab our volume formula and differentiate this. Oh, I'm going to differentiate it twice. 12x squared minus 480x plus 3,600. I'm differentiating it again so I can determine the nature of the stationary point next. So we get 24x minus 480. Now that we have this, let's find our stationary points. We're going to do this by letting our first derivative equal 0. So 12x squared minus 480x plus 3,600 equaling 0. Now I'm just going to quickly check if I can divide 12 for all of these. So 480 divided by 12, 3,600 divided by 12, and I indeed can. I'm going to divide out 12 first. I get x squared. 480 divided by 12 is 40. 3,600 divided by 12 is plus 300, equaling 0. Now at this point, we're really trying to find two numbers. Well, it's really just factorizing this now. I've just thought of it now. If you couldn't do it, just use the quadratic formula or whatever method you want to use to solve this. But I've seen that we can factor this using x minus 10 and x minus 30. Just quickly checking that. Multiplying these two, we get positive 300. Adding these two, we get negative 40. That is indeed what we are looking for. And so we can see that x equals positive 10 and x equals 30. So these are the stationary points of this. But notice it's asking for the maximum volume. So we don't know if which one is maximum or minimum, or they could both be maximum or both be minimum. So we now need to do our nature. And now to do the nature of this, you could use your first derivative tests, so the table of derivatives, but that's why I got my second derivative. I'm going to use that. So v double prime of, I'm going to test 10 first, gives me 240 times 10 minus 480. That's going to give me 24 times 10, sorry, minus 480. That gives me negative 240. And v double prime of 30. Just going to skip this part. You should definitely still write these, by the way, but I'm going to do that there. So 24 times 10 times 30, sorry, minus 480. This gives me positive 240. So v double prime of 10 is less than 0, but v double prime of 30 is greater than 0. This is going to be concave down. So this will be a maximum turning point. And this would be concave up, which would be a minimum turning point. So we are going to be going x equals 10. So that is actually what we're going to be using. But now read very carefully, because it says calculate the maximum volume of the box. X equals 10 is not the volume of the box. X equals 10 will give the maximum volume. So to find the maximum volume now, so we go the max volume at x equals 10. So substituting v of 10, we get 4 times 10 cubed minus 240 times 10 squared plus 3,600 times 10, and just chucking all of this into our calculator. 10 cubed minus 240 times 10 squared plus 3,600 times 10. Using my physical calculator here, we get 16,000. And looking through, if you take a close look, this was in all centimeters. So let's write that in. 16,000 centimeter cubed is the maximum, the max volume of this box. And there we have it. So I hope you can see that we could have done all of this even if we had no idea what was going on here. In any case, I hope that's given you an insight into a problem involving optimization with calculus. Hope to see you in the next videos where we tackle more examples. Hope to see you then, and best of luck.